To ask you, I heard somewhere, I read somewhere that he came looking for you after his first fight and he wanted you to train him. What made you decide to go ahead and take that?
Um, I really told him that I couldn't do it, and my back was killing me, and I need to have surgery. And I said, you're kind of lazy anyway. You don't show up all the time. So when I said he didn't show up all the time, he started showing up every day.
Okay.
He just kept coming back. He was like a bad penny. so. He got to me so much that him showing up and his work ethic and everything that came along with that was very good. So I actually canceled surgery, and because I'm a little scared of surgery anyway, a little bit. So and if I can get by without doing surgery, it'll be great. But the thing is, I think somewhere along here maybe that will happen. But right now I'm doing good, and my assistants are really helping me with the mitts a lot, and I'm watching from outside for the first time ever in my life.
Wow.
And it's a good view. I mean, I can see a lot more mistakes and so forth, and improve on things and make changes, and it's worked out really well.
Now, with that, on his first fight, what were some of the things that you saw that he did that you're making changes to now in the second match coming up?
Well, the biggest thing is like I told him, I said, you're not Roy Jones. I said, will you stop acting like him, please? I said, you're a good fighter. You don't need to really to emulate anybody or have a following of somebody that you like. I said, you're not the type of fighter that fights with your hands down and so forth, and you don't have that speed that he has. And so I told him, I said, be yourself. I said, let's go. So I think he's become more mature and a better fighter actually, because of those little talks we have, and he's doing really well. And whatever I say, he does. I mean, because he knows. I got mad at him one day, and he was like swinging like he did in that first fight, like an amateur, like trying like to knock guys out.
Yeah.
And I said, do you do that? And he says, well, I want to knock the guy out. I said, well, next time you do that, all right? When you come back to the corner, I said, I'm not going to be there. I'll be at my house. I said, so. I think I scared him a little bit.
And he hasn't done it since, I
He
bet.
hasn't done it since.
Now, let me ask you, you've been training a lot of amazing fighters throughout your career. If you had the opportunity to see about whether past or present fighter, who would it be and why?
There's a lot of great fighters out there that wish I could work with, and a lot of talent. I trained Tyson like very late in his career and so forth. I just wish I could have maybe had him earlier when his work ethic was really good and so forth, and he was just a really really well tuned fighter. I did have a chance to work with him for a couple of fights, but I would like to work with Tyson early in his career. And my favorite fighter is Joe Louis, of course, because I think he's the best boxer ever and best combination puncher in the world. And I would love to work with a guy like that. I mean, because he's short, crisp. I like guys like that. So everyone thinks I teach everyone to be like a banger and stuff like that because I'm very offensive. But the thing is, I never bring that into play if they're not that type of fighter. Yeah? So the thing is that you cannot change people. You cannot. It's just impossible because once the bell rings, they're always going to revert back to what comes natural to them.
Now, with that, how long does it take for you to get to know a fighter to kind of know how to train them? Because I don't think you've even been working with him too long. So how long does it take for you to get to know your fighters?
It usually takes a while, okay? Now, the biggest thing with John is he learns very quickly. Now, with Manny Pacquiao, he only had one hand for a long time. So we worked on his other hand quite a bit. And just patterns. And it took like 6 months to get him to be really used to it. And then when he finally knocked somebody down with that shot, then it was there.
Yeah.
And so with John, it's really happened much quicker because he had the same problem and only had his knockout power was just on one side. And he developed his left hand so well in this fight. I said, your left hand is much better than your right at this point.
Yeah.
I said, it's come a long way in a very, very short time. And I said, why didn't you have confidence in it? He said, I don't know. I says, it is your best hand. He says, yeah, I know. He says, I can tell now. And and you'll see today in the workout that he's very, very equal with both hands, and he's going to be a much more dangerous fighter. But the thing is, I told him to be smart. I said, go out there, win every round, one at a time. When the knockout comes, that'll be a bonus. I said, if I see you swinging and looking for the knockout, I said, I told you, I'm going to go home. So who knows?
Now, let me ask you, you were a fighter yourself, and I know that for a while they were telling you to retire as a fighter, and you
Yeah.
didn't want to.
No.
So, do you see yourself retiring anytime soon as a trainer, especially with you needing surgery and things like that? What does that look like for you?
I've thought about it a little bit, but I can still function a little bit. And a lot of guys tell me that watching from I can see a lot more from the outside anyway, and I don't really need to get in there. And I do miss that quite a bit. But the thing is, I will do it again someday, somewhere down the line. But what I did decide to not wear the body pads anymore, and stop taking those big shots
Yeah.
from these big punchers. So I don't need
That
that
would hurt.
at my age. I don't need that. So. I thought it was a good idea at first, but I guess it wasn't. And we live and learn.
Right. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me, and good luck on your guys' rematch.
Great. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.